So here we are with episode 2 of the Apothecary Diaries. Last episode was pretty good. They really tossed us right into the situation, and as I mentioned, nothing better than to start your episode off with with an infant death. But we'll just have to see what this episode has in store for us. Seems like there's deliberate poisoning going on instead of accidental poisoning. If you guys like the video, like the video. If you dislike it, dislike it. I do have my full length up on Patreon and early access to non-seasonal and some seasonal shows like this one on the YouTube memberships. Other than that, let us get started. Man, that disclaimer goes by so fast. Oh, we're right back to where, yeah, the poisoning. Then we terrorize the civilians later. Oh, is this Lihua? Can't figure out. So it must be one of the villagers, huh? Custody for aiding the barbarians. Barbarians as in the... Not really sure what they're fighting. Only 4 women. Who has like what? Holy shit, over 10? Bright and gentle. She's smart? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Especially when there's so much competition around, huh? Gaoshin. Her knowledge is too good to pass up. And how are you gonna... Oh, so that's your answer. I was thinking about like, why don't you just pay her really good, but he's out here like, I'm just gonna seduce her. Look at him fawning like schoolgirls. Damn, he's got his whole entourage. Huh? He's here to bring the ire of his entourage, obviously. Okay. Ooh! He's really out here. Touching her hair without her permission. Hongnian. Hongnian. God, I'll write your name later. Jesus Christ. Aww. Very cute. I forgot that it was it's a girl. And then the prince was the prince, but you know, it's dead now. Oh, four in total? It's 5 now? Yinghua. Yinghua? Guyan. Island. Island. Oh, they're seeing that she's injured. She's been doing apothecary works again. You're sick. You're injured. I wonder if it's poison testing because of the recent poisoning stuff. Oh, taking pity on her. Well, sold off to the rear palace is a terrible job. So much pity. She had a sweat bead on her. Wow. Oh. Wow, what a thin fucking padding. Better than sleeping on a wooden bed, though. I guess we'll see when you get your job, huh? Ah, tasting poison. Yes! Yes! This is exactly what I wanted. Oh, she was poisoned? At least twice? Goddamn. Shit. Ooh, free food. She's just eating. She's like, yep, it's poisoned. Alright, try the next dish. This is like a fucking Russian roulette out here. Even the even the snake was like, what the fuck? She can't even. Free food. Ceramics on purpose. But the kidnappers would have gotten paid. Okay, so in sense that they get a part of her pay. Wow, what a fucking... That's a referral system right there. Huh? Now the... Yeah, fucking get him! Hell yeah! This one's under the table. Hell yeah, dude. I like that woman. She just wants to help. Oh, all she really does is to eat. A certain military. Ooh, a little banbao. Ooh, aphrodisiac. Aphrodisiac for a eunuch? I mean, it will still work on him, but like... Oh, he was trying to... Ooh. Oh, she's having fun. Some barbarians. Again, oh, who are these barbarians you're talking about? Give her the full list. Other ailments. Since they're the one cooking the food. Oh? Oh, maybe it's not the food? It tastes good. Ah. So it's not the food, it's the... I'm going now. The seducer. Okay, I have way too many fucking timestamps. Weak in the knees. Oh. That's why you send a pretty boy. They gotta have loyalty, okay. Anything? Oh shit. Got all these boxes and no labels. The maidens are just watching. The maidens? The house that That's interesting, making chocolate in like the olden times. Oh. Ooh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, she's just gonna leave that there? Somebody's gonna be... Oh. It's like an RPG where like you see the herbs and it's it's fucking sparkling. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The girls, they... Oh, I did say it's a snack. It is what it is. Snacks. For both genders, huh? They were saying that with a little shade of darkness over him. Really out here, just... Excuse me, sir. Oh shit. Is that Li Hua? I know what that is. Okay. I don't remember. As I've mentioned, I have read the manga, so things that I don't remember will probably surface up as it comes along, so I think I have an idea where that one is going. But okay, this was a really nice episode. I really like it. Introduced us to more cast. You know, to more cast of a member. We've got the, I keep wanting to say servants. Assistants to Gyokuyou. And so, you know, Gyokuyou, as they are describing her, right? She, not only is she beautiful and kind, she's very smart and cautious. And so she's the one who, and I would assume she hires her. Yeah, they say like she doesn't really hire people from unknown origins and all that. So she picks these people, and they're very much like Gyokuyou. So it'll be interesting to see Li Hua and like her league of women. So that'll be fun. I put Xiaolan, but I don't know who that is. I haven't written any like descriptors for any of these characters, so I've just kind of written them down, and I'm just like, I don't even know why I wrote Lingli. Who the hell's Lingli? I don't know. But alright, you know what? I didn't know whether I was going to write notes, but I think I will write notes with the amount of timestamps that I've written down for this episode. So, we are going to, well, I'm going to write my notes, and then we're going to get back to the center. I thought that this might have been Li Hua, but I think this is a whole different woman because I believe Li Hua right now is, well, you know, after losing her child and all that, she's probably not looking good. As you can kind of see, which, again, I assume Li Hua is the one that's, like, just up on the fucking castle wall, or the high walls or whatever. And so, you know, she's probably not looking good, and she's probably not eating and whatever. Also, probably fucking sick and such, so. Don't know who this woman is in particular. Gyokuyou's just like, oh my god! We're gonna go through the entire night if he fucking eats this chocolate! Fantastic. It's fine. They didn't go all the way. What is she checking for anyways, right? Like, what are you specifically checking for to know whether they go all the way or not? Alright, so that was the second episode of the Apothecary Diaries. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like talking to you guys. For me, I thought that this was a pretty nice episode, I will say. They brought, like, the small preview, not like the actual preview from last episode, but like the one that just showcasing the, right here in this situation where the, soldiers are just fainting or they're passing out from being poisoned, and the soldiers are just out here like, hey, the villagers, they're the one who cooked this, so it's obviously their fault, and they're about to, as with what Maomao says, if the bright soldier who stopped these other soldiers, right, if he hadn't stopped them, they probably would have lost an entire village. I got lost in the sauce, I don't know where I was going there. Anyways, yeah, the soldiers being poisoned, but then we're also talk about here in this situation where the soldiers are currently on a battle and they're fighting some barbarians, which I would assume the barbarians are the Mongolians who are just out here fucking China up and all that, right? If we're speaking ancient China anyways. Oh yeah, they're making all this point, and I thought that this was going to be a main thing, but then it isn't, and and in the end, it's just Maomao getting, being moved over to the Jade Pavilion, which is totally fine. But I'm going to continue with the soldier stuff right now, since, I think they talked about it at about the 12-minute mark, where Jinshi is asking Maomao, what do you think happened to these soldiers? Were they poisoned? Do you think the villagers poisoned them? Somewhere around there. And Maomao is just like, well, it probably could just be the I was gonna say the silverware. Yeah, the utensils that they're using, which is also something that was brought up when she went through her first poison testing and Jinshi was testing her on with like the ceramic bowls and everything. So Maomao was thinking about that, and it's like, well, did the villagers give them these bowls and utensils, or did the soldiers bring it up? And since it's the soldiers, I like that Maomao is over here like, look, even in this palace, there's just poison everywhere. This freaking flower, if you eat the petals, it's going to poison you. Poison is everywhere. It's within all these herbs, these plants, these trees. It could even be the wood. And I thought that was very fun, right? It continues to bring up the point of how ignorant the world was back in these ancient times. And so we figured that it could possibly be the wood that when it's burned, it produces poison or toxin, and that is the reason why the soldiers were passing out for all this. It's not the food itself, it was all the things that was around them. Understandable. And also, honestly, it was still kind of good that they were, even though, you know, they still got affected anyways, it's a good thing that they were outside. I mean, even if... Now I'm just over here thinking, like, well, they did have a fire running. If they were inside, they'd probably just die from, you know, other things that wasn't the wood burn. Well, it's carbon monoxide. There you go. They would have just died of carbon monoxide, and nobody would be the wiser. That's. I was just like, oh, that's not poison, but it still is poison in its own way, right? It's called carbon monoxide poisoning for a reason. I think so, anyways. Don't take my word with a grain of salt. But we pretty much got past that whole soldier stuff, so there's that, and the bigger focus is the more focused on Maomao moving over to the Jade Pavilion and also introducing us to Gyokuyou's lady-in-waiting. And as with what Jinshi says, Gyokuyou only has 4, now 5 women lady-in-waiting serving her, or women serving her, while Linhua, sorry, I don't know why I keep wanting to say Linhua. Lihua has over 10. And the numbers is not really good for Gyokuyou, considering that she's the emperor's concubine, but we get to learn a little bit more about Gyokuyou, right? Not only is she bright and gentle, she is also wise and cautious, and this is the type of personality that you need in order to survive in the frickin' concubine. As we learn, this is very much a big fucking competition, right? We've got a lot of concubines out here who want to produce the emperor's child, whether that's going to be good for them and such. I mean, I would assume so, right? They get the benefit of producing the next heir and such. Kind of like with Lihua, where she is very high ranking because she had given birth to a son, and in these time and age, a son is very much the most important thing of all, because if you get a daughter, who gives a shit? Get him out of here. We need someone who can continue to spread the seed of the emperor. So having a son is the most important, which is also why we see in the last episode, Lihua is faulting Gyokuyou for causing this curse by giving birth to a daughter. And since we're on the topic of Gyokuyou, we will go on over to her lady-in-waiting, as we learn that since Gyokuyou isn't the person who would just hire someone of unknown origin, and she is a wise and cautious person, it's nice to see, I mentioned this, right? It's nice to see that her lady-in-waiting are very much formed around her and feel like her personality, right? This is, not only is she like this, she's able to exude that through the lady-in-waiting. And so it'll be interesting to see Lihua and her lady-in-waiting, to see how their attitudes are and how it very much would match with Lihua. So yeah, we're introduced to the 4 lady-in-waiting. The first one is, hold on, I don't have her on here, but she is Hongnian. She is the head of the lady-in-waiting. We have Yinhua, which I've just put in terms of like, I have to put some sort of notes in order to remember who, so I can associate who with who. So I just put Yinhua as double bun. The moment she takes it off, I'm going to be like, I don't know who this is. But yeah, this is Yinhua. She has the double bun. And then the next girl is Guyan, who I just put as soft voice, so at least that one is a little bit better. And then Ailan, which is, I just put tall. She's the tallest of the group. And again, with the way that they are very much molded around Gyokuyou's personality, they see that Maomao has bandages on her arm, and they immediately come up with some story which in their mind could be embedded in some truth, because this could be like the normality of the sort of situation, right? They see that, they feel very sympathetic towards her, and they're just kind of like, oh shit, she's probably been abused by her family. She's got these scars that she's hiding under these bandages, and now she has to come here and do this special job that's potentially going to kill her, aka the poison testing. This is awful. She's living a horrible fucking life. And I love that, instead of having the idea of like, even though probably in their own way, right, they do feel relief that somebody is doing the poison testing and not them, they still feel very sympathetic, and they don't want Maomao to do any work, because just eating the poison is already a lot of burden, right? That burden being death. Or being fucking paralyzed for life, who knows? It's a very big burden, so I enjoy that they try to take at least all these other burdens off of her, since as with what Hongnian says, the Jade Pavilion don't hire any serving girls, so the lady-in-waiting do the job, which also kind of makes me think about, like, since they don't hire any serving girls, they are basically all equal to one another, right? They do all the jobs that's around in the Jade Pavilion, and I would assume Li Hua has serving girls. Who knows? They did say over 10 women serves her, so like there could potentially be serving girls where in the pavilion wherever Li Hua is. Going a little bit more into Hongnian, where anyways, she hears about Maomao's kidnapping. And she also, well, at first she ponders about like, well, if you're illiterate, why didn't you tell them? Why were you keeping this a secret this whole time? Don't you want to get paid more? And Maomao's just like, look, I got kidnapped, all right? I ain't giving my kidnappers any more money. I ain't giving them any more fucking incentives. I love that because I thought that initially maybe they just get like a one-time payment or something. I find this very funny that like as she was talking about like the whole like if you mentioned you're illiterate you would have gotten paid more, and she just takes this vase and she just readies it. She readies this fucking vase. So yeah, she says I was kidnapped and bought here, and I'm incensed that part of my pay gets sent to the kidnappers. I'm just over like, wow, dude, no wonder kidnapping is such a fucking thing that happens in the Rear Palace. It's such a lucrative practice. The kidnappers get referrals for this shit. And yo, this is like an affiliate program, dude. They get infinite money. What a lucrative fucking business. But I love that Hongnian hears this, and she's just like, oh, so you'd rather take less pay than give your kidnappers drinking money, huh? So she hands her the vase, quote unquote, hands her the vase. It's just like, well, fuck, the vase is, it's fucking broken now, and you definitely can't pay this with your current salary, so I guess we're just going to have to charge your family, aka your kidnapper. I love that shit, dude. That's some fucking petty, but amazing, some great shit, right? And as what Maomao says, Hongnian really knows how to motivate her workers. She's a really good head of the lady-in-waiting, right? She's the manager. She's a good manager, though. Right, not only does she charge Maomao's kidnappers for this fucking vase, she gives Maomao the money, the hazard pay. She gives her, like, it under the fucking table, right? Like, paying her in full cash, except it's not actually cash. I mean, is that what it, I mean, the way that she holds it, she's just like, yeah, this is, Maomao, I mean, she holds this wooden thing, she's just like, wow, this is really much more than, this is basically, like, my entire salary. Which, would that be the money, except it's just in wooden form? I would assume so. Anyways, yeah, she just gives Maomao the money, and like, that none of that's going to the kidnapper. She gets it 100%. Hell yeah, dude. What a fucking baller. But that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about the lady-in-waiting's Gyokuyou's anyway. And then there's also that scene where the three lady-in-waiting are ate her chocolate, and you know, seems like they had a little fun with them, so who knows? Or at least when Maomao said they didn't go all the way, so it's okay. We have more interactions between Jinshi and Maomao, and Jinshi, well, I think it's Gaoshen who asked this first because, well, she's knowledgeable in poison. How can we make sure that she doesn't use that knowledge on us, right? She used it against us. And so Jinshi's just like, don't worry, I got a plan. And his only plan is, I'm gonna try and seduce her because it works for every other ladies. But for some reason, it doesn't work on this girl specifically. I wonder why. And so he gets upset. And I love that he's putting out this face. She's over like, ugh, and then he just like, why don't this work on her? And he has to go to the ladies, and it goes back to her. And I love Gyokuyou is just watching this whole thing. Like she's watching it like it's a fucking tennis match, right? She's staring over, and she goes back to her. Fantastic, dude. I do wonder for Maomao, she was very much ingrained in the idea of apothecary, right? And poisoning herself, making drugs and all that. That was her life's work. She really has no space for putting in boys and into her life and such. It's all filled with drugs and poison. It also makes me wonder, because, like, it seems like she would often go to that house where with all the consorts are, and we saw during the time when she was making the chocolate, and, like, one of the lady was feeding her the chocolate, and, like, it got her drunk, basically. And she was talking about, like, yeah, one of the creeps they were basically trying to drug the consorts, but the consorts gave it to Maomao instead, and they figured it out like that. And so it makes me wonder if, like, and also, like, the people there knew her, right? And it makes me wonder if because she was more close to these women, and she knows that there are these, like, these men who come in and, like, have some fun with the concerts or whatever. Hopefully it's just having some fun. It makes her think differently it makes her think differently towards men than all these other women would see, right? Someone like Jinshi. These names are still not registering for me right now. But the first time she sees him, she thinks, like, who is this arrogant looking woman? Very fun. But she does acknowledge that he has a beautiful face, and she was thinking if he eats the chocolate and he goes around with, like, a big blush on him and everything, that would definitely woo all the women and the men. So, like, she acknowledges that he's a beautiful man. It's just that she just doesn't like him. But we have the trope of the guy who is very beautiful, all the women swoon for him, except for this one particular girl, and so that catches his interest, right? He's just like, not only does she not have any interest in my seduction tactic, she sees me and she looks at me with disgust, and he's happy about that, because he's just like, well, I've never had someone who looks at me that way. What next? You want her to step on you? But the interesting about Jinshi is that he is here to serve as a test for the concubine, for their loyalty to the emperor. Which is so funny. The emperor's over here got, like, so many women just ready to rear his children. I mean, it's called the rear palace. But he's just like, I just want to make sure these women, they aren't cheating, which also understandable in the idea of he wants to spread his seed. He wants to, continue his lineage. So of course he wants the lineage to be only from him, right? From his seed, and he doesn't want these concubines to have some fun. Well, I mean, actually, now that I think about it, I was thinking about that, but the issue is that no men can come in here unless they're eunuchs. And Jinshi is basically a eunuch. He can't even have children. So, yeah, no, the emperor is just, he's just a low bitch. Hey, you may be the one who bear my children, but god damn it, even though I rarely spend time with you, and maybe the only time I come here is I have sex with you for, like, I don't know how many fucking hours, according to Gyokuyou. But don't you dare cheat on me. Ooh, why I oughta. But I think that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. We will see more about the woman walking on the top of the wall at night. So we'll just have to see that in the next episode. But if I have anything else to say, I will write it in the description down below. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys in the next episode.